בשלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצרה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פן שבת מקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פן שבת מקבלה.
Continuing with Mizmor Shir, Psalm 92, a song wrote exactly for this very day.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות. עלי אסור ועלי נהרם, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
And we invite Harriet and Gary Charson to light our Sabbath lights. Harriet and Gary, I have unmuted you. If you could read our blessing beforehand.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you very much. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד יברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי תכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם ולעמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשא בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
If you're able, please rise for the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. God of mystery, thank you for the gift of this day, for the one ending and the one about to begin. Help me to see the moments and the hours, those already past and those to come, as blessings, as teachers. Guide me to service for your name's sake. Grant me comfort and rest, so that I enter the new day with a sense of joy, hope, and peace. Then, God of old, I will become a source of love, a beacon of wonder, awe, and grace. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Torah is gravity, binding us to our ancestors, holding us near to our God, anchoring us with wisdom and understanding. Torah is gravity, tying our lives to our history and our destiny. Mitzvot, illuminating our path, brighten our days, showing us the way to holiness and service, leading us to heal the world. Mitzvot are light, shining around us with beauty. Torah is gravity. May your feet never falter. Mitzvot are light. May your hands shine with grace. Gravity and light surround us. Torah and mitzvot enliven us. Blessed are God's gifts. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. If you'd like, please rise for the Shema or remain seated as you wish in your own home, in your own sanctuary, to become more fully connected to these words of Shema, a declaration for each of us to hear, a declaration of the oneness of this universe, of our connection to that oneness, and our connection to each other through that oneness. Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam. Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uv'shochvecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot ben einecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Last week I neglected to share that many of the photographs that I've chosen for the backgrounds are from locations throughout Michigan. So you may recognize this tunnel of trees, possibly, and others as we move through our service tonight. And I hope that seeing images that you might already be familiar with will both enliven you and bring you some comfort. For certainly this prayer Hashkivenu, while it doesn't speak specifically of comfort, that's what it's all about. It's all about asking God to comfort us at night in particular, because it's dark, because we don't know what's going to happen in the darkness, because we're all, on some level, fearful of the darkness. And so we ask God to comfort us, to wrap us in peace, to wrap us in wholeness, to surround us with a canopy of that peace, and to protect us from not just words anymore, but protect us from disease, protect us from hatred, protect us from the sword, protect us and comfort us. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ve'amitenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ve'amitenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Ushmor tzeitzenu, u'ha'enu, lechaim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ve'amitenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ve'amitenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Ve'amitenu Shomreinu
And our weekly reminder, especially now, especially when every day could feel exactly the same as the one before and the one after, keep this day different. Especially now for us, an important reminder. Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat לדורותם בבית עולם. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat לדורותם בבית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בבית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בבית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת נחש תשמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם לעולם תשמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם לעולם.
In prayer, please rise and we'll chant out loud together the first three paragraphs of the Amidah, and then reading just the sort of essence of the intermediate prayers out loud together, and then there'll be some time for some silent prayer to pray the words of our own heart, whether out loud or silently. I think in your own home it probably depends on what you choose to do, of course. But do join us out loud for the first three paragraphs.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Machazir Shechinato Letzion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Tzion. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Lochen Na'eh Lehodot. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamavarech et Amo Yisrael Bashalom. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. We continue with a few moments of silent prayer. We have the honor this evening of having Deborah Katz chant Torah for us. And let me find you, Deborah, so that I can unmute you. Deborah, you might, yeah, you're unmuted now, Deborah. So I will be following along in the Hebrew with my cursor as Deborah chants. If you'd like to follow along in the Hebrew, the Hebrew and the English don't totally line up, but they're close. So starting with verse 3. Deborah, you ready?
I am ready.
All right.
Im bechukotai telechu, ben mitzvotai tishmeru, vasitem otam, benatati gishmechem beitam, benatna haaretz yevulah, be'etz hasadeh yitain piriu. V'hisig lachem daish et be'atzir, uvatzir yatzig et zara, v'achaltem lachmechem lasova, yishavtem lavetach b'artzachem, v'natati shalom ba'aretz, Ushchavtem ve'im acharit, v'hishbati hayara min haaretz, v'cherev lo tavor b'artzachem, v'daftem et oivechem, v'naflu lifnechem lecharev, Radfu mikem hamisha me'ah, umea mikem rivava yirdofu, v'naflu orvechem, lifnechem lecharev, uniftati alechem, behifreti etchem, V'hir beiti etchem, v'hakimoti et briti etchem, v'achaltem yashan noshan, v'yashan mipnei chadash totziu, v'natati mishkani b'tochachem, V'lo tig'al nafshi etchem, v'hitalachti b'tochachem, v'hayiti lachem Elohim, v'atem tihiu le'am, Ahani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, mihiot lahem avadim, v'ashbor motot ulchem, ve'olechetchem kumemiut.
Yasher koach, Deborah. Thank you so much. It was wonderful. Yasher koach.
Thank you.
Well done. As we move into our prayer for healing, I want to do something with our Friday night service that I sometimes do in our weekday morning blessings. So taking off our shared screen for a moment. Spend a minute and just look through the faces of everyone who's here. Cycle through all of those beautiful faces of our community. If you have your camera off and you're willing to share your video, please think about doing that. It's okay if you don't, but if you're willing. Because the truth is that we all need healing right now. Keep looking at those faces. And as we think of our friends and family who come to mind, as we think of sending them blessings of healing, of wholeness, we send that to each other as well. Because even if we think we don't need healing right now, we probably do. If there are names that you'd like to add to our list for healing, please just add those names into our chat box, and I'll read those after I read our communal list. Debbie Pissarak, Joanne Blumberg, Valentina Wolfson, Hillary Handberger, Bridget Ford, Joel Berger, Margaret Leslie, Sydney Usum, Barry Hopkins, Buddy Tepper, Dick Jordison, Melissa Dorfman, Milton Child, Sherilyn Ford, Robert Morgan, Shmuel Natan Ben Avra Yaakova, Lauren Orzak, Aaron Scott, Jennifer Kinzer, Valerie Carey, Sharon Israel, Sima Kroll, Debbie Weiner, Nicole Levine, Lance Mermel, Rachel Mermel, Judy Silverman, Alan Dorfman, Rosalind Pollins, Miwa Lewis, Neil Townsend, Tamara Conway, Marilyn Mann, Marilyn Jeffs, Albert Rancourt, Mark Hodling, Sooner Heath, Joan Cohen-Jones, Chuck Scott, Leela Sankaran. We add to those names Robert Zinn, Tony Wisniewski, Annie Kopko, Joseph Zients, Patrick Veninga, Evelyn Booth, Don Allen, Holly Makama, John and Joanne Barnhart, Steve Conway, Ellen Bosco, Joan Cohen-Jones, Bob Tell, Beth Garfield, Pat Pigeon, Anne-Marie Hervagen, Risa Shaw, Gerald Russell, Norman Weiner, Chuck Scott, Marty Scott, David Bloom, and Milton Scott. Avotenu mekor habracha ve'imotenu. May the ones who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Cycle again through those videos, through those pictures of us. And as we think of our loved ones, we think of each other. is my honor to be able to invite Rabbi Daniel Alter to offer us words of Torah this evening. It's great to have you with us, Daniel, Rabbi Alter, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say about this week's double Torah portion, Behar Bechukotai.
Indeed, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We find ourselves at the end of the book of Leviticus. As a whole, this central book of Torah offers a guidebook, a manual for repairing the world when the world turns upside down. Yes, the world will go awry, it teaches. But here's how we fix it. It offers a structure that places each and every part of daily life in parallel with one another. What we do in the Mikdash, the temple, correlates with what we do in the home, which mirrors how we treat our bodies. Today, we sometimes struggle to see the logic of it, and we usually reject the power of these cultic remedies. But for our ancestors, these practices offered comfort and agency, the certainty that the world can and would be righted once more. All that would cost is a few cows and giving up that bacon wrapped shrimp sandwich. After so many weeks at home, many of us may feel ready to make that sacrifice. So where does that leave us this week? Our double portion, Behar Bechukotai, speaks of farming practices and freeing slaves and making vows to God. We also read of the rewards for following God's mitzvot, as well as the punishments for rejecting them. And it is in this final piece, in the midst of the graphic misery that would befall us, that the rabbis of the Talmud find what Rabbi Jonathan Sachs calls a fleck of pure gold. Leviticus 26:37 reads, "With no one pursuing, they shall stumble over one another as before the sword. You shall not be able to stand your ground before your enemies." In a moment of brilliance, the rabbis of the Talmud takes this dreary warning and spin it into gold. On the basis of this verse, they teach Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh B'Zeh. All Israel is responsible for one another. We will stumble, they say, not due to personal failure or weakness, but because we ignore how our actions affect one another. We falter when we fail to acknowledge our mutual responsibility. Rabbi Sachs takes this opportunity to discuss the nature of covenant and community, of nationhood and leadership. It boils down, he says, to one of the earliest teachings in Torah, that we are, in fact, our brothers and our sisters' keepers. He ends his drash with a story from the aftermath of the war in Kosovo, when 800,000 refugees returned to their homes in the city of Pristina. When an Israeli medical team joined other international aid agencies on the ground, they recognized an unserved need. Everyone was focused on the adults. No one was working with the kids. So they put out a call for volunteers. Every single youth movement in Israel, from the most secular to the most orthodox, answered that call. Israel sent team after team of youth leaders to work with children, organizing summer camps, sports competitions, drama, music, whatever they can think of. Children needed, and Israel responded, both out of chesed, of kindness, and of responsibility. Thinking about these last 2 months, it would be easy and perhaps even cathartic to point to all the individuals who we feel are failing in their collective responsibility. But we don't have to go down that path. Instead, we can choose to focus on the positive. We can choose to instead bear witness to those who answer the call, who respond out of kindness and responsibility, both within our TBE community and without, local, national, and international. Here are a few that stood out to me. Number 1, soon after the COVID-19 outbreak, 99-year-old World War II veteran Tom Moore decided to raise money for the National Health Service in Great Britain by walking laps around his home. Armed with his walker, he aimed to complete 100 laps to raise £1,000, just over $1,200. Tom met and beat his goal. At last count, the now 100-year-old veteran has raised more than £30 million, nearly $40 million. Let's recognize Tom, and let's also recognize each and every person who donated to Tom's charity work. Number 2, in the first week or two of the stay-home orders, actor LeVar Burton, known for Reading Rainbow, Star Trek: The Next Generation, and his podcast LeVar Burton Reads, hoped to contribute in his own way by reading stories. After sharing that his search for good content in the public domain had come up empty, prolific author Neil Gaiman responded on Twitter, "You have my blanket permission to read all my stories." Soon after, children's book publisher HarperCollins also gave Burton permission to read any of their scholastic stories as well. Number 3, for the last few weeks, actor and director John Krasinski has produced a weekly web series called Some Good News. In each episode, Krasinski highlights how so many people have responded with goodness. "We are all going through an incredibly trying time," he said, as he began the first episode. "But through all the anxiety, through all the confusion, all the isolation, and all the Tiger King, somehow the human spirit found a way to break through and blow us all away." Through the show, Krasinski has achieved some incredible things. He coordinated with AT&T to provide free self-service for all doctors and nurses in the country for 3 months. He threw a star-studded virtual prom for teens who were unable to attend theirs. He worked with PepsiCo to arrange a $3 million donation to help restaurant workers. The list goes on. These are big, perhaps even miraculous, moments of compassion and action. Let's also recognize the small moments. Let's recognize all the peer shoppers, all the callers and letter writers. Let's appreciate all the mask makers, including those who pioneered clear masks that allow deaf and hearing impaired people to continue to read lips. Let's celebrate the drive-by birthday parties, the artists and musicians who continue to make and share content, and let's acknowledge the work of every parent, every teacher, every anyone who has stepped up. We no longer turn to the cultic practices of Leviticus, but we can hold on to the certainty it offers that we can, in fact, make things better. We do so, as our tradition teaches, by stepping up for one another, by showing mutual responsibility. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you, Rabbi Daniel. Thank you so much for your words of Torah. And, while we're at it, I'll say that Rabbi Daniel didn't have to give a sermon tonight. He hasn't had to give any sermons over the past few years that he's been doing so. But whenever I say to him, Daniel, you wanna talk? You wanna give a Devar Torah? You wanna give a sermon? He always says yes. He always says yes. And while he's busy preparing for school next year and figuring out how we're gonna do that, he still took the time. He still took the time this week to prepare these words for us. And it's an honor to work with you, Daniel. And while we're at it, let's also acknowledge Cantor Hayut and the work that she has done to continue to build our community, to be a source of strength for our community, day in and day out. In particular, over the last few months, as it's I hope shown through for Cantor Hayut, for Daniel, Rabbi Alter, for Melissa, who works really all the time to ensure that this community continues to function as best as it possibly can, and our office staff who from their homes are answering the phones, are responding to emails, are forwarding those messages on to us. We have an incredible organization that we hope is serving the needs of this community, along with, of course, our lay people, our lay leaders, who do the work that they do because of the passion that they have, and only that. I know we have a number of board members on our Zoom service tonight. Harriet, who lit candles tonight. I saw Jack. There are folks who are dedicated to committees that continue to meet so that we can continue to function as a full and whole community, even as we experience this together. So thank you, Rabbi Alter. Thank you for raising your words to us, for us, reminding us about the goodness that is truly all around us, that is a part of who we are in this community. Thank you.
Josh, if you allow me to step in, we would be remiss in the midst of all this things if we didn't also acknowledge and thank you for your leadership, for the foundation that you presented for us throughout all this time.
Thank you. We continue with the counting of our Omer, and I'll share with you, as we've been counting the Omer in the mornings. We've been reading Rabbi Karen Kadar's book on the Omer, accounting. And if you are unfamiliar with this so far, it begins with a text from somewhere else that's not Rabbi Kadar's, and then she comments on it and speaks of its relationship to the day. And this is an interesting one, I think, for today. And it is, you'll see why I'm mentioning this, but it is, I think, so interesting that last week I told the story that I told about the hole in the boat. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Man is afraid of things that cannot harm him, and he knows it. And he craves things that cannot help him, and he knows it. But actually, it is something within man he is afraid of, and something within man that he craves. When senseless hatred reigns on earth and men hide their faces from one another, then heaven is forced to hide its face. But when love comes to rule the earth and men reveal their faces to one another, then the splendor of God will be revealed. From Martin Buber's 10 Rungs, Collected Hasidic Sayings. And now Rabbi Kadar's reflection. Every now and then we have to drill a hole in the bottom of the boat that keeps us afloat. Because one simply should not chart a course carried by routine and complacency. And though the tumble and rumble of fundamental change is chaotic and alarming and hard and disruptive and so frightening, and though it goes against our natural instinct to protect and defend who we are and what we know at all costs, sometimes the cost of staying the same is simply too great, isn't it? To live in the routine of it all, bored, unactualized, is really hard, right? The courage you will need to drill the hole and the struggle you will experience to stay afloat will empower you, transform you, and enliven you. It will be like a birth. Out of the waters, a stronger, more vitalized person. Excellence, creative energy, passion, and a sense of purpose require something different. Remember, spiritual and intellectual growth sometimes is a journey of risk and courage. Sometimes you have to drill a hole in the boat that keeps you afloat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Praise be you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, instilling within us the holiness of mitzvot by commanding us to count the Omer. Today is the 37th day, 5 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. We continue with Aleinu. Please rise if you're able. Again, remembering that we're using slightly different words, a more inclusive text for Aleinu. So just watch as we chant out loud together.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמה, ושכינת עוזו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Rock of Jacob, comfort of Rachel, broken and torn, shattered and crushed, bereaved and bereft, we declare your holy name. We praise your gifts and your works. You are author and artist, architect and builder, source and redeemer. We, the mourners of Zion and Israel, comfort each other. We console the lonely and embrace the lost. We cry each other's tears. Together we recall your wonder and your majesty. Holy One, ineffable Redeemer, guiding hand, gentle hand, loving hand, Light of Israel, you are our shelter. We are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Maxine Schell, Genedia Nemstov, Myrna Miller, Jonathan Gorowitz, Harold Schumacher, Tova Salinger, Bobby Lewis, Bart Cohen, and Tom Barber. Our yard sites this week are for I'm sorry, the file I have does not have the full names of folks listed there. If you have a name of a loved one that you're remembering, if you could offer that name in our chat box, and I will say that name out loud. Robert Holliver, Eleanor Ratner, George Smith, Daniel Kilburn, Dikran Kaninen, Sarah Adelson, David Brown, Warren Stamford, Mark Pigeon, Richard Mills, Sally Rothman Meltzer, Kenneth Hilfman, Sammy Myers, Sam Frank. I'll wait just another moment. For all of those mentioned, for all of those who go unmentioned, and for all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. D'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be forever a blessing. Please be seated. And just a few brief announcements. Torah study 8:50, Shabbat morning services 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We have our last session with Alden Salavi Wednesday at 1 p.m. Youth Shabbat at 9:30. Thank you, Rabbi Daniel. Our last session with Alden Salavi at 1 p.m. on Wednesday. But multiple things going on pretty much every day. There's lots happening and lots to come as we continue into summer. You will be getting an email about this, but I want to just sort of release it publicly. I've already talked about it once in our Lunch and Learn session, but for summer services, this year, because of our current situation, we are going to, rather than have purely lay-led services, going to have partnered clergy lay services. And what that means is that rather than having two lay leaders lead, Regina and I will, and possibly Rabbi Daniel as well, will get into a cycle of one of us being on and the others off, and partnered with a layperson to help lead. So that gives you some really, I hope, great opportunities to, if you have been reluctant in the years past to lead, maybe you'll feel a little bit more comfortable with one of us. We have this new visual tefillah that requires the making of slides and the changing of backgrounds. That's a great opportunity, if a way that you could contribute to the service, right? What are the slides that you think would best evoke the emotion that you're hoping for in a particular prayer? But singing, giving a Devar Torah, leading the prayers, all of that is available to you in partnership with one of us. So there will be an email coming out about that soon, and we do hope that you'll sign up for that and work with us this summer. If you have an announcement or anything that you need to let everybody know, if you could raise your hand electronically.
Well, Betsy's reminding us not to forget to join after the morning events to come back in the evening tomorrow for Havdalah.
Yes, Havdalah 7:30. Yeah. Mark, you're unmuted. You had your hand up.
Yes, I wanted to say that I counted at one time well over 100 people participating in this service.
Wow.
So I dedicate tonight's virtual oneg with a contribution to JFS for each and every one of you. Thank you so much all for being here.
Thank you, Mark. Amazing. Beautiful. If there's anybody else that has something that they need to share, please do raise your hand. I'm sort of looking around, just make sure that if you're doing it in your video. I don't think so. Okay, great. Please check out the website. You're getting 2 emails a week now with what's going on, both the Sunday night email that's just sort of a list, and then our typical Thursday email that's coming out. Stefan. Okay. Yes, Stefan. I can't unmute you. Go ahead.
Do the emails come only to members, or do you have to just sign up on an email list?
We can get you on the email list. Okay.
Okay.
Just email one of us and we'll get you on.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Abby wrote down Social Action Committee meeting Monday at 7 p.m. Let her know if you would like to join for an invite.
Very good. All right. Cantor, we are heading back to Osei Shalom, correct, for our closing song? All right, we're just going to use the same slide there.
Sounds perfect. So.
Sorry. Before anybody else leaves, also, we have time afterwards for quick breakout rooms, just to say Shabbat Shalom. I do it a few times, for like 2 minutes. I'll throw you into not throw you. You get what I mean? You're invited into a small breakout room with just maybe 3, 4, 5 other people, other folks online. You can say Shabbat Shalom, maybe share a few words about yourself if you don't know the folks. But it's just 2 minutes, and it's a great way to continue to get to know each other and build our community. So do stick around for that if you can. Once we're done with our closing song.
Shalom, shalom bimramav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bimramav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And before we go, a big thank you also to Avishai and Yoav for our musical accompaniment tonight. Thank you, both of you. And also, I should have said when Stefan asked about getting on our mailing list. If you're not on our mailing list, if you're not a member of the congregation. Of course, we want everybody to feel as deeply connected to the congregation as possible, and membership is available as well. So do please consider that as we go through these difficult times together, whether a technical member of Temple Beth Emeth or not. Of course, you're always invited to be here with us, celebrating with us, praying with us, and I hope growing with us as well. So if you're going to stick around for the breakout rooms, do that, please. And if not, it's now a great time to say Shabbat Shalom. It's great to see you, so that people don't get stuck in rooms all by themselves. Because that would feel like punishment, I think. This is the part where I sit down. All right, so here we go. 3 to 4 people per room. Remember,
Great job, Deb.
oh, I gotta do that too. I gotta make it so everybody can talk. Hold on. There we go. All right. So remember to accept the room when. Oops.
That hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't. Hold on, let's-
When it's story time, and I was
Okay.
taking myself off the wheel.
Hey.
Room 7.
You've been invited. Father, Mother, hello, Dad, Dad, Dad.